A forgotten artifact lies in pieces on a planet far from Earth. Few know it exists except those who took it back and those whose ancestors created it. 4 young people are thrown into a race against emissaries of the gods to find its pieces. Mistrust, greed, and magic are tangled in an endless web. What will the fate be of the universe once it is found and reassembled? Get Scepter of the Gods, The Rod of Truth now on Amazon, and get wrapped up in the saga that will not let you go.
Good morning and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day. Good morning, I am Mark the Writer, and I want to thank you for joining me today as we continue our series, 50 Ways to Love Your Soul. I hope you've been able to follow along with the series and are finding it helpful in getting your new year going in the direction of your lifelong goals. If you know anyone who could use some encouragement in setting goals, then please share this podcast or the blog version from motivational-devotional.com. Did you know that the words gratitude, grateful, and grace all come from the same root word? Usually, when we think of showing gratitude to someone, we just think of saying thank you or being courteous. Maybe we think of actually using a form of the word and saying to someone that we are grateful. I would hope that we consider, realize, and fully embrace how deep grace needs to be. When someone holds a door open for me to go through before them, I say thank you as I go by. I don't expect it, and I certainly never take it for granted, although I find it amusing that the older I get, the more often this seems to happen. I also hold doors open for other people at least as often as it gets done for me. I say thank you because I am grateful. Sure, I am more than capable of pushing or pulling a door open all on my own. I am grateful, though, because someone else was considerate enough to think of me, to do something nice for me, and not expect anything in return. To me, that is grace. When someone extends grace to me, I am grateful. So I don't just say thank you as an empty, polite expression. I say it because if I say, I appreciate your grace and so I am deeply grateful, might sound a little weird to them. It sounded pretty weird as I just said it. So that's what we should mean, though, isn't it? When we say thank you? Well, opening a door for someone is very nice and polite, and it is a means of extending grace to someone. But what about when someone risks their life to save yours? What about if someone took a chunk of their life savings to help you start a business? What about if someone put their own reputation on the line with their employer to help bring you on board with the trust that you were going to be great there? How deep does grace run in situations like that? I think there are times when we can't possibly repay the grace we received. If someone opens a door for me and then I open the very next one for them, I've kind of repaid it back already, haven't I? But situations like I just described aren't so easily turned around. I mean, if someone helped you start a business with a chunk of their life savings, you couldn't just turn that back around, otherwise you wouldn't have needed it, right? So you are extended something that you are expected to receive, and really all you can do is be grateful. You would offend that person by saying you are going to pay it back. Maybe you would have such an arrangement, but sometimes the situation is that a person just bestows grace upon you to the extent that all you can do is receive. You can put it to use to make the very best of it and make them feel that they made a good decision, but you wouldn't have to do that. They wouldn't have given you that grace simply for you to make them proud or to later on feel that you were worthy. You were worthy in their eyes long before they blessed you. Maybe there have been some occasions when you were the one giving grace to someone else. You know, it doesn't have to be a situation that involves money or property. Sometimes the biggest grace you can extend to someone else is called forgiveness. Sometimes it is a blessing of your time, like the person who needs some handyman repairs around the house that you can do and give enough of your time to take care of them. So, in which direction is grace going for it to be gratitude? I know that most people would say gratitude is what you give back after you've received the grace. Good point, and a very worthy answer. But what about if the person extending overwhelming grace is doing it because they are grateful for all the blessings they have already received, and so they are extending grace as a means of practicing gratitude? Now, that's starting to get kind of heavy, isn't it? Think about what a world this could be if people loved gratitude to the point that out of that gratitude, they extended grace to others, and then those people are also filled with gratitude and do the same for others, and it just keeps getting passed on. In a world like that, we might not even need any news programs, much less news channels. The coolest thing in all this is that the more we do all that we do from a place of gratitude, the more we are giving back to the universe. Living in a state of gratitude is where we firsthand experience that all of creation is conspiring in our favor. Trust that the universe always has your back and never expects payback. It's free. Ram Dass once said, "Gratitude opens your heart, and opening your heart is a wonderful and easy way for God to slip in." Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Motivational Devotional is in production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.